This is the 17th season of Bass Talk Live with your hosts, Mark Jeffries and Matt Pangrat. BTL is brought to you by Lawrence, Bass Cat Boats, APCO, Ducket Fishing, Strike King Lures, Sunline, Big Bite Baits, Spro, X-Zone Lures, Yamagatsu, The Bass Tank, and Denali Rods. BTL coming at you. Good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where Matt and I are going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, it is that time, dude. Can you feel the chill in the air?
Oh, dude. Hoodies and shorts is the best time of the year. Like, I like those mornings where, because I'm a flip-flops guy, right?
Yeah, when are you going to cut that off? What temp do you go, no more flip-flops?
That's what I said. I like those mornings where for the first 30 minutes you wish you'd had shoes on. And then it warms up, and then you can start feeling your toes.
Man, just
have you ever owned a pair of flip-flops?
No,
never.
Never. Not even slides.
Really?
Yeah, people used to make fun of me because I've told this story before about living in California when I would go to the beach. I wouldn't go to the beach to go to the beach. We'd go to the beach to play basketball because there were major 5-on-5 pickup games at the beach, at the outdoor courts. So, no, I'd always have shoes on. And then they'd take off after the game, and everybody go swimming at the beach, and I'd just go home.
Big shout out to Jesse Moore. That's who I met outside of Macy's.
Oh, did he contact you?
Yeah, he left a comment. He said, dude, that was me. He missed yesterday's show. I was at the mall in Springfield, Missouri. Met a guy listening to BTL. So,
and he had no idea who you were.
That's why he just started listening
a
month ago. He was a big Frank fan. Big Day 4 fan with Frank Scales.
Frank had been on a lot.
I do have some things that might help you in your relationships that I came across this morning.
Relationships?
Specifically with your four-legged friend, Izzy.
Okay.
I walk in and what were you giving Izzy? Insulin? What were you giving Izzy a shot of?
Yeah, insulin.
Insulin.
Yeah.
And I was a little concerned because Jeffries is a cat guy.
Well, no, whatever.
You're a cat guy. Don't deny it. There's nothing wrong with being a cat guy. You're a cat guy.
I like to help animals.
So, we've got Buddy in a box, and now we've got
on the
Izzy.
windowsill.
And Buddy was
Buddy was the man.
He was awesome. Now Izzy, and I came across this article titled "How Long Can I Leave My Cat Alone? Cat Experts Reveal Surprising Answers." Because Izzy's a studio cat, right?
He never leaves the studio.
Right. So they say less than 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. But with Izzy in her declining health, there are some tips that you could possibly do to prolong and make Izzy happy.
Okay, what are they?
They suggest that you can sit and read or talk gently to your cat.
Yeah, that's not happening. Keep going.
You can just be a typical human presence by sitting on the couch with it and comforting it.
No.
And then this is what I really thought might help you out. They suggest a webcam to set up.
What?
To set up a webcam for your cat so you can check on Izzy, and you have the technology here to do that. So you can check on Izzy whenever you want, and possibly adding some comfort smells to keep your cat company. Cats are their olfactory senses. So I just know that Izzy's in there. She's looking a little thin these days.
No, she's looking normal.
Well, she was obese when you got her.
Yes.
And then also just comforting them and reassuring them that you will be back.
I do that every morning, man. Every morning before the show, I have a routine. Go through it, give her some chow, give her some water, make sure she's good to go. And then when I get home from school after practice, I'm out here working. She's free to roam around a little bit. So, no, not going to catch me sitting with the cat on the couch diving into a new novel. Not going to happen.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the last book I've read.
It had to have been a fishing book, wouldn't it? My last book would probably be, wasn't Ken Duke, did he do the Bass Fishing Vault?
I don't know.
It was one of Ken Duke's deals, I think.
No, I know the last book that I read. It was a biography on Wayne Gretzky. That was the last book that I read.
We got the Bass Fishing Vault right there. Someone sent that to you.
Yeah. That was the last book I read. And I read it on a plane.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
We got a good show today. We have Tristan McCormick on, who just qualified for the 2022 Bassmaster Classic. Is this the third classic that they've had on? The fourth classic.
Yeah.
This is the fourth classic that they've had on Hartwell. Didn't it start with Alton Jones with the mop jig in the guts?
Yeah.
Then went to Casey Ashley with the homemade underspin. Then went to Jordan Lee with the wacky worm.
Mm-hmm. Number 4.
And now this is number 4. So Tristan won the Carhartt College Bass Classic that was on the Alabama River last weekend. They had the top 4 teams from the national championship that him and his teammate Stevie Mills
cleaned up too,
from
dude.
Bethel finished second in, and then they had a seeding deal, and Tristan was the number 1 seed, and then he went through the field, and then on the last day, I want to talk to him about this because I was actually watching live on the last day because at the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, I was talking to Hank Weldon, who is in charge of that, and I said, dude, Tristan McCormick has this in the bag, and he's like, you think? And I said, I know so, man. I said, I'm calling it right now. He's going. I said, this guy has done nothing but fish for the past 4 months, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know him that well. I've kind of gotten to know him a little bit through, what is that, fortuitous meeting? Or anyway, we met at I told that story yesterday. We met at a Table Rock event a couple years ago. But I said, he's got it. And he got down like bad early. And he literally got to watch. It's head-to-head, weight 0. And he got to watch his competitor catch like a 4-pounder right in front of him. And then he came back and won it. So he gets in the Bassmaster Classic, which is a guaranteed $10,000. He got $7,500 cash. He gets to use a Nitro Z20 and a Toyota Tundra, and his entry fees paid for all 9 Bassmaster Opens.
That's impressive.
So that's a
what do you get? $7,500 too?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a check of him holding $7,500. So that's a 10 tournament schedule. The 9 Opens and the Classic right out of the gates.
That's impressive.
Third Bethel angler to do it.
Yeah.
Cody Huff and John Garrett.
Yeah, you know what?
We're probably going to.
I'll give you one guess what I am thoroughly impressed by, though, that this man has achieved.
Oh, he's got a degree on his wall.
That's right. He graduated, has a degree in some kind of business thing. I don't know. We'll ask him. We'll find out.
So we'll have Tristan
That's
on.
Impressive. That's very
He's kind of one of those just like grinder, old school. He's one of those guys you can tell spends a lot of time in his boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just one of those.
It's what you got to do.
A fisherman's fisherman. Who are those hockey guys that they would go into the corners? Like a Dino Cicerelli.
Yeah. Wow.
Like a Dougie Gilmore.
Messier would do it.
Yeah, Mark just kind of put the nose down, has some talent, isn't afraid to dangle, but like if the puck goes into the corner, they're going in and mucking it up in the corner after him.
Who was the dude? Oh, Ty Domi.
Nah, he was a fighter.
He was a grinder too, though. He was a
A
grinder.
Wendell Clark.
Okay.
I'm trying to go back to the 90s era so you would know these guys.
Yeah. We could go to the Broad Street Bullies. I mean,
that's before my era.
That entire team.
Bobby Clark, Dave
Schultz.
Yeah.
All those guys. Rick McLeish.
Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow, so we'll have him on today, and then tomorrow another guy who's just a fishy dude who puts his time in, Josh Douglas.
Cool.
The entire industry and fishing community's happy. This dude works his butt off, spends hundreds of hours behind his Lowrance graphs. I'm going to hopefully get some tips on how to get my side imaging set up better, and then his graphs look way better than mine because I think he does the Navionics app with the downloads and all that. We're going to talk to him about that, but he finished third in the points in the last Open there at Norman and qualified for the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yeah, very nice. Can't wait to talk to him. Hey, Kyle, by the way, yes, Ty Domi was a goon.
Yeah.
Definitely. Agree with you 100%. But you just don't have those players anymore, do you? Matt?
It's a lot more open now.
All right. Do you have those kind of guys that are grinders on any professional tour now?
Yeah, that's what I just said. There's tons of those guys. Like Bill Lowen.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Lowen's the ultimate. A Swindle.
Yeah.
A Bill Lowen. All those guys who live in that 15th to 30th range most of the time. And then, you know what I mean?
Pop one every
like
now
they're
and
not
then.
going to lead the league in scoring. They're not going to score the prettiest goals. But they're going to play 82 games a year.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a really good plus minus. There's a lot of intertwines there if you don't follow hockey. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good comparison, man. That's
So, anyway.
Would you consider yourself a grinder? Are you a grinder?
No, like...
Why not?
Okay, so
I mean, forget about the dink and dunk.
Cody Bird is a good grinder in the Opens. He just came off a top 10. He won there. Like, I think the grinders are the guys who go out and go, I'm going to get 5 to 7 bites. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to execute. I know I'm going to be around guys, but I'm going to, like Brad Hallman's a good grinder too. I'm going to go make it happen kind of my way. I have a tendency to be more, I'm more of a numbers guy. I try to get as many bites as I can and make it work that way.
Okay.
A grinder is a guy who just puts his head down, I think, and knows I'm not going to get many bites. This isn't the A-plus pattern that's going on the lake, but I'm doing it my way, and if I stick with it and don't think and just fish, I can make it happen.
Charlie Hartley posts. No, the first one was Charlie Hartley flipping docks over here on the Bass Zone.
Oh, yeah, he was leading the Classic after day one there.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was wild.
Crowd
I got
was
to
going
hang out.
insane, man. What are you doing?
I hit my phone with my hand because I'm jacked up this morning.
Okay.
Coolest experience there at Smith. We had a 2-hour fog delay on the first day, and I got to hang out with Charlie Hartley for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just sitting at the dock. I pulled up right next to him, and we had some really good conversations, reminiscing stories, talking about the past, talking about his first time at Smith, all sorts of crazy stories that Charlie Hartley
He's got
had.
stories. He definitely has stories.
Yeah.
Did he ask you about Grand Lake at all while you were sitting there?
No.
Nothing. Not one mention.
No, Charlie's does it all by himself. Man.
Well, I know. I just thought in passing, hey, man, how are things going up at Grant?
No. We
None of
talked to
that.
Casey Scanlon about Lake of the Ozarks.
How is Lake of the Ozarks?
Good.
Should be.
Should be. It is. It's really good.
Huh. I did talk to Steve Wunderlich yesterday, and he said that Table Rock is on fire right now.
Well,
Seriously,
Table Rock's
on fire.
always on fire.
Yeah. So that first cold front, man. It's
yeah,
coming.
U.S. Open. Great call by Billy Egan to cancel it yesterday. It was a double flag warning, whatever the heck that means, but there were two
That
flags.
means really bad.
There were 2 red flags, and they were pointed straight out. And then Josh Bertrand posted a photo at the top of the U.S. So this is the U.S. Open on Lake Mead that is going on. Historic record lows, 200 boats in it, giving away a bass cat to the winner, like $60,000, $70,000 bass cat. And it's going to be a 2-day event now. They canceled the first day, and it was a good call. It was whipping. I saw some videos of guys that were like, yeah, this is a good call. Because remember, the U.S. Open for, 35 years, 40 years? The big thing about it was never been a day canceled.
Well, that's because it was in July.
I know.
Most of the time, it was in the heat of the summer.
Haven't there also been days that you've covered where it's like, and 3 boats didn't come back?
Many times.
We got to get everyone back in safe. So, yeah, a lot of big names out there. You can follow that tournament. It starts today. Combined weight, so if your co-angler catches 5, it counts for your 5 and vice versa.
2 days?
2 days now.
Okay. That's what happened when you won.
100%, yeah.
2 days.
Yep.
Huh.
Got the best 2 draws in the field.
The trophy right there. Right there. Sitting right there in the studio.
Triple A trophy.
Ike out there, man. Ike's fishing it.
Yep. The rumor is the Open schedule's coming out within the next week or 2.
9 events.
As far as I know.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe not. Are they making a West Coast division?
In the Opens?
I just threw that out there, man. No, I know they're not. I would be thoroughly shocked if that would happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
No.
Not going to happen. All right, man. So we have Josh Douglas tomorrow, and then Thursday, Frank, the man, Scalish. Day 4 once again.
And next week is your scheduling week, right?
Yeah.
So then the week after that,
Then you're back in studio.
Andrew Loberg, who won 2 of the Toyotas out west, and Alex Redwine, who was in that 3-way tie in the Northern Opens and qualified for the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series through the Opens. So those 2 will be on.
We need to get Jimmy Washam on.
Oh, yeah, that was a reschedule, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we can see if we can get him on for the Wednesday. We need to get him on
because he had a life-changing event take place last week.
Do you have a kid?
No.
Oh.
No. So we need to get him on the show and talk about it. It's fishing related.
Oh.
Fishing related. So we'll try and get him on, not next week, but the week after, and dive into his adventures that he will be partaking in 2022.
Also, I did post day 1 from Lake Norman, the ultimate, as you say, dink and dunk. I don't know how I feel about that. There's got to be the dink and dunk tournament. It's all drop shot. It's all wacky worm. And I didn't put any music or commentary towards this. It's just 20 minutes of me dinking and dunking.
Just raw footage?
Yeah, I was 10th after day 1, and it's just a lot of me staring at a spinning rod going like this and shaking it. And then boat flipping 14.5-inch spotted bass. So,
all right. You learned from that event, though, didn't you? Did you learn from Smith Lake?
Oh, yeah. They were pretty much what I expected. I just didn't execute on day 2 at Smith. So, day 1 at Norman, the other one will be out later this week, and then I'll do Smith, and then we'll be caught up, and then I'll fish Grand, and then I'll do a recap on all the things I did wrong this year.
All right. I guess the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship starts tomorrow. Did you know that, Matthew?
I was unaware of that.
I have to check that out. I never did get in a kayak this year with everything that happened. I still don't know if that's a good idea. I know JD said, "Oh yeah, you need to."
Yeah, you can get in there. It's October 13th through 15th. The Yak Attack Kayak Bass Fishing Championship. It's in Shreveport, Bossier, Louisiana. It's amazing what you can find on the internet.
Cool place to have it, I think.
Aren't there alligators and poisonous snakes down there?
Well, I know there's snakes. I don't know about the alligators. Probably.
Yeah, I don't want anything that can kill me crawling up in there.
Did you talk about the caterpillar?
I just posted it on my Instagram.
Oh, you did? Okay. He found a green caterpillar in my driveway this morning that looked like an old Lake Fork tackle centipede.
Mm-hmm.
Did it not? In chartreuse.
Like Carolina rig.
That's right. Give me a hook, put it through the nose, chuck it out there, drag it along the bottom.
Oh, the other guy that I want to get on here in the next couple weeks is Skylar Hamilton. I believe he fished a crappie tournament, like a professional 3-day crappie tournament.
Did he do good?
I don't know. I was kind of following it, and then the Opens took over, and I kind of just zone out for that whole week. I'll give him a shout. Maybe we can get him scheduled too.
All right, cool stuff. All right, we're going to take a break, come back with our special guest, Tristan McCormick. Everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back here on a Tuesday.
Elite FS puts the full range of Lowrance fish finding tools at your fingertips. Find fish with active imaging 3-in-1 with Fish Reveal. Target fish with active target live sonar and watch fish react to your lure as it happens. Built-in C-Map Contour Plus charts make it easy to find key fishing areas. But best-in-class charts and powerful sonar is only the beginning. It's easy to build your fully networked FS system. From sonar and waypoint sharing to controlling the Ghost trolling motor and power poles. Lowrance Elite FS. Targeting fish just got easier.
Basscat's legendary 20-foot platform has been paired with angler-approved accessories for 2021. Puma FTD features the proven hull used by many of the top names in bass fishing today, backed by a transferable lifetime warranty. The Puma FTD boasts a full team deck concept which enhances efficiency for you and your tournament partners. Turnkey tournament-winning performance. The Puma FTD SP from Basscat.
Pro-inspired, pro-designed, tested and proven by legends on the water, dominating the tournament trail for over 50 years. Everything you need, one legendary brand. Strike King.
Hey guys, Major League Fishing Pro Jacob Wheeler here with my new Signature Series line of rods with Ducket Fishing. We have my 7.2 cranking rod right here. Crankbaits can be very fickle, and having the right, having a lot of tip can be too much, and having not enough tip can, lose a lot of fish. So you really got to be careful. If there's one or two techniques that I'm really adamant about having the perfect action is a crankbait, especially like a square bill, a DT6, those medium running crankbaits in the springtime when those fish's mouth are pretty tough. That's when I'm really on top of having my actions just perfect. There's one.
You know what works. Now you need a bunch of them so you don't run out on your next fishing trip. The Big Bite Pro Packs feature 25 baits per pack at a price far below that of having to buy 5 packs of regular baits. Now the Pro Pack has a big brother, the Mega Pack. The Mega Pack features 100 of your favorite baits.
With these, one bag is usually plenty to get through the day. It helps me stay organized, helps me save money, helps me catch more fish.
All of us on the Pro Tournament Trail use Gamakatsu hooks.
Why?
Because they are absolutely the best.
It's not about how many bites you get,
it's how many you put in the boat.
Gamakatsu makes hooks for every fishing style.
We didn't come this far to lose fish.
Did you?
For more information, visit gamakatsu.com.
Everybody loves to chase bass on the water. But is your most valuable asset protected when it's not on the water? Empire Covers can preserve your bass boat against even the harshest conditions. When the storm is coming, that bass boat needs to be protected. Check out EmpireCovers.com for all your cover needs. Empire Covers is the ultimate solution when it comes to protecting that asset. Empire Covers is the ultimate solution in easy protection for your truck, for your boat, for your car, anything that needs to be protected from the elements. BTL listeners can receive free shipping plus an extra 15% off their entire order on EmpireCovers.com. Just use the promo code BTL at checkout. Empire Covers. Protect what you love. All right, we are back. Mark and Matt in studio. And it is time to go to our special guest. Dude, I'm serious. I have a very difficult time going solo when you're not here.
Well, haven't you had Frank and Gene and
that's different.
Ken Duke and
Yeah. But when I'm the only one in the studio and things are happening and I'm trying to do everything, it makes it much easier when you're here. It just does.
We've been doing it for.
Besides, I don't like to talk.
Yeah, you do.
I'm by myself. Anyway, no, it's good to have you back in studio. You got one more tournament, mathematically still alive. I know a lot of people, including myself, are pulling for you. We'll see what happens.
Mathematically. I mean, I'm also a realist.
Well, the Cardinals made the playoffs and they won 17 in a row. They had like a 7% chance of making the playoffs and they peel off 17 straight wins.
I'm 100 and something points back. I'm in 7th and there's 3 guys that are like 50, 60 points ahead of me. Like, I would give myself a 1.5% chance.
Things happen, man. You know that.
It was interesting. I was sitting there after day 1, and I was sitting there next to Austin Cranford, who's from Oklahoma. He's fishing the rest of them. He actually has he does a really good job on his YouTube channel. He's like, man, how do you get views on your YouTube channel? I was like, it's BTL. Yeah. He does a really cool deal. He GoPros it all. He got a title sponsor for this year. He's fishing all 9. I think he's only like 24, 25 years old. Mm-hmm. Good dude. So go check out Austin Cranford Fishing. The last one, he was catching them on Thousand Islands on a chatterbait in a foot of water, 5-pound smallmouth.
Wow.
So he was burning it, and then as soon as they had nowhere to go on those shoals, so the only place they had to go was up. So as soon as he would hook one, it would just be he literally was like reeling smallmouth in through the air like the whole time because they go down, up. Then you know how they jump like 10 foot to the side in that shallow water?
Yeah.
Really cool stuff on his. So check out Austin Cranford Fishing.
So he's got video footage of that?
Yeah, it's on his YouTube channel.
All right. Need to check that out.
Anyway, he was sitting there, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to catch a fish today on day 2 of Smith, and I'm only 30 points out of the Elite Series now, and I really need to catch him. And he goes, dude, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. He's like, just freaking go fishing. And I was like, sage advice. So same thing at Grand. It's going to happen. It's going to go happen.
All right. Let's bring in our guest now, Mr. Tristan McCormick. Tristan, how you doing, man?
Doing good, gentlemen. How about you guys?
Doing well. Thank you so much for taking time out. And I have to admit, dude, the fact that you have done what you have done is setting up 2022 to be an epic year for you.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm so ready to get it started, but at the same time, I'm trying to take it day by day and soak it all in. So that's that's been a big thing for me. Just take it day by day because a lot of stuff's happening, and there's a lot more stuff going to happen, so I'm super excited.
All right. The Classic berth, you're fishing all 9 opens in 2022. You got $7,500 in your pocket.
Plus another 10.
Yeah, guaranteed because of the Classic finish. And you busted out your degree at Bethel, so quite a 2021 also.
Oh, absolutely. I had a very blessed year, and, like Matt was saying, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You're there. It's out of your control. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and that's been my motto all year. And I've had a lot of highs and I've had a lot of lows. So but back to the story, it's been a great year.
All right, Matt.
I kind of looking at your stats. When you look at the college events, there's all sorts of college events across the board, but you also threw in central and northern divisions of the Toyotas. You fished the MLF college stuff. I think all in total in 2021, you fished 8 events with that. You fished, 4 or 5 events with bass. You threw in some other side events. I mean, you had an absolutely full plate in 2021. How many days on the water do you think you spent? Because I also know you had a couple months where you basically just checked out and fished for smallmouth.
Yeah, man, I spent a lot of days on the water this year. That's something I really like. My goal this year was to really, figure out the fisheries that I have no idea what's going on. For instance, up north. So I hooked my camper up and loaded out, shot out to the first northern Toyota at Champlain, fished there, stayed there for about 2 more weeks, and loaded up, went down to St. Lawrence. So I was up in New York for a total of a little over 2 months. So,
wow.
It was great. Every day on the water, never missed a day, and I'm so glad I did that because I learned so much. Just how the smallmouth, because smallmouth are totally different than the southern smallmouth like we have here on Kentucky Lake. They set up totally different. They act different. It's just a lot to learn. And I felt like if I would have not gone up there and did that, I wouldn't have had, the ending of the year that I had.
Talk about the gauntlet of going through it. It's now kind of a thing that everybody understands, looks forward to, the college bracket to get the one college angler into the Bassmaster Classic. You finish second with your partner Stevie Mills in the national championship. Then you go and get seeded. And then it's basically a week where you're fishing head-to-head, and if you lose, you're out. So you had to go through, you went from a day of seeding, that was 1 day of fishing, then the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. So 4 consecutive days, cameras in your boat, knowing that you're going to be, one of you is going to be in the Bassmaster Classic. Talk about that week, talk about the nerves, and talk about the process of going, holy cow, 1 of 8 of us is going to be in the Classic, 1 of 4 of us, 1 of 2 of us. It's me.
Yes. Well, starting out, the practice, going down there leading up to it, my biggest goal for myself was to not get nervous. And, because when you get under that much pressure, a lot of stuff can change. You can't fish as good. So I went into practice, I had a really good first day of practice. We only had 1 day of practice. Then the second day was a seeding day. So I went out there and I tried, I went out and caught 5, Then I went and tried some new stuff and actually ended up catching some really good ones. And that's what, I ended up being seed 1. And the second day, you know, was all 8 of us. It was head to head, and I was going up against Hayden Scott, one of my best friends. And you know, I told him that morning, I said, dude, whatever way it goes, you know, I'm gonna be thrilled if you make it. And you know, he was like the same way with you. And so I treated every day of that bracket like a Saturday morning fruit jar. I didn't let it get to my head. I just went out there and fished and just did my thing. But leading up to the last day, when it was just me and Tucker, I was going over to the ramp and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Buddy, I lost it. I was like, you know, this is it. It didn't help also that, you know, this was my last college event ever. So that on top of that, I was like, man, dude, I bawled like a freaking baby in the truck. I just sat in the truck for 10 minutes and I was just a wreck. And, you know, everyone said that, you know, the first half of that tournament on the final day, I wasn't being myself, you know, because I let the pressure get to me and I was, you know, trying to make it happen. And my girlfriend texted me at the halftime. She said, "You're an idiot. Just have fun." And I was like, oh, that's all I needed to see. So I just went and had fun and ended up, you know, after the halftime, it went down in 40 minutes and it was history after that.
I guess it was kind of an epic comeback. So I was watching it in the morning, and you guys were running all the way up. Is that the same dam that all those guys in the Elite Series, when they were drifting backwards, caught them in the Elite Series tournament a number of years ago when they had the Angler of the Year at the Alabama River?
No, that was the next dam up where we took off. You can't get a bass boat up there. That's the video where what's his name? He completely crashed his boat on that giant boulder. And then
Jared Miller, my buddy.
Yeah.
But this is the other one that, like, I think Edwin was up in there and did really well on that one. You can actually run.
Yeah, this is a newer one. I'm pretty positive. And no, you can run all the way up to the, you know, to the wing of the dam. I mean, you can get all the way up there.
So you start that final morning. You got the blazer all lit up. That was like one of the coolest shots I've ever seen too. It's like dark and you've got this, like, it looks like a spaceship running up the river. And then you start and, like, you started, for lack of a better term, you started in the wrong area and you got to watch Tucker catch like a 4-pounder and like catch a bunch and you have like nothing. And I was like, ooh, this is over before it even started. What was running through your head? Like, did you know that he had caught a big one? I mean, you're a couple hundred yards away. Did you have any idea, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting way behind and 10, 11 pounds hasn't been really easy here? And then talk about the comeback in the second half to get him. I think he had 10, 13, and you ended up with 11 pounds total.
Yeah, so when Tucker pulled up there and started catching them, I don't think anybody got to watch the 3.5-pounders jumping over my spook about every 5 casts. It was bad, man. I couldn't do nothing right. You know, I threw it up there. They come up schooling everywhere, about 20 of them in my little seam, and I threw up there. And as soon as the spook hit the water, boom, you know, I set the hook, and he jumps one time, throws the spook, fire back up there again, twitch it, 4-pounder jumps over. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I look up and Tucker's freaking reeling in a 4-pounder. I'm like, oh, this is great, you know. And so I just, leading up to the halftime, well, let's back up. So I was watching Tucker catch him, and I literally I don't think I caught a fish up there that morning. And I was like, I looked at Mark and John and said, my camera guys, I said, we got to go. I said, I cannot watch this no more. And I had a gut feeling that I needed to go run my sand flat stuff because it could happen down there just as well as it could happen right where I was sitting. So I was like, let's go down here and run this. And, you know, I went down there and ran it all. And he was like, halftime. And I was like, well, crap. You know, I got like 3 pounds. And I said, he's probably going to have 10. And he ended up having, I think, 9 or something. So I looked at him and I said, the only way this is going to happen is if we go back up to that dam. Because that morning, that was the most commotion, the most activity I've seen out of all 4 days that we fished. It was going down that morning. Big storm was rolling through. The pressure was up. And I was like, let's just go back up there. And if it happens, it happens. And I feel like that's where it's going to happen, is up there. So when I caught, I think I was right at 10 pounds. And I was like, I know I need like 2 more bites. Because I knew he was going to upgrade, you know, and because he's been hitting that 9 to 10 pound range every day. And I was like, I need 12 pounds in my head to know where I could be, you know, solid. So ended up happening with 11 pounds even.
The crazy thing, too, is Tucker Smith is probably the most decorated angler to ever come into college. If you follow that in 2018, 2019, and 2020, he was the Bassmaster High School national champion 3 years in a row. And you're talking like 400, 500, 600 boats. And then comes in as a freshman in his first year, and is 3 ounces away from being representing the college series in the Bassmaster Classic. So I would have to venture to say that he will be in this position again over the next 3 to 4 years, whereas this was your last shot to do it. So the scales hit, you win by 3 ounces, and you're in the Bassmaster Classic. There has to be a moment where that sinks in, where you're like, okay, let's get ready for Hartwell.
Yeah, it hadn't sank in yet, but I mean, I've been sitting here in the office every night, looking at Google Earth on Hartwell, and I think it's going to sink in when I pull out of this driveway and start heading to Hartwell, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be fishing the Bassmaster Classic. But I mean, it's still, I'm just so in awe about it all, man. It's just, I mean, it's insane. I mean, nobody can really put into words, what us fishermen go through in a year. Matt, I mean, it's ups and downs, highs and lows. I mean, you're crying, you're missing home, you're doing this. I mean, it's just so much. And I mean, to fish the Bassmaster Classic, man, that's just insane.
Tristan, what's your history on that lake?
On Hartwell?
Yeah.
I have a pretty good history. We fished several college events there, and I've done good in a few college events there. And it's gonna be a good classic. It's gonna take 17, 18 pounds a day to win. But I feel good about going into it. I got a lot of stuff. Being there, the times I've been there, I got a lot of stuff marked. Cane piles, brush piles, everything. So I'm gonna have a little variety of everything. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna let the weather tell me really what's going on, and just fly by the seat of my pants, because I feel like that's what it's gonna be. I'm fishing for first. I'm not fishing for second. I'm not fishing for a top 25. I'm going there to win. And that's, every guy goes there to win. So that's my mentality of it.
Very cool. Now, for those folks out there that may not be familiar, what's really the strengths of your game, and what do you feel that you need to work on going into next year?
Strengths of my game is definitely offshore fishing, being off the bank, staring at my graphs, scanning, side scanning, down scanning, forward facing imaging. My weakness is getting up on the bank and being versatile, if that makes sense. So, if I'm going down the bank and I need to flip the lay down, I need to flip up the flipping stick. But if I need to throw a top weight, it's hard to explain, because I've struggled so much going down the bank, except when they're spawning, or roaming down the bank on top water. It's just really hard for me to get on the bank in general, because I hate fishing the bank. I'd much rather be offshore trying to find a little pot of gold, on a flat or whatever it is. And that's something I've really struggled with, and that's something I'm really going to try to excel going into the 2022 season.
Interesting.
So you graduated, correct?
Yep.
And you're the third Bethel guy to do this, and you're fishing all 9 opens. You got a full schedule. You got like every what all the MLF and Elite Series guys fish. You're fishing just as many of those events next year. Are you like going to get a job? Are you just going to try to do this fishing? Like, what's the game plan as far as like life to set yourself up moving forward? Is this just something you're going to do this year, and then you want to go do something completely else? Like, what's the game plan here?
I'm going to try to make a living out of it, or I'm going to go broke trying, one of the two. Man, I'm not going to give up. This is a dream of mine, and I'm not letting nothing stop my dream. So that's, I'm going to fight for it.
Sponsor portfolio wise, we ask this a lot to guys who qualify for tours, you guys who win championships. You get calls, you got guys knocking down your door. What does that look like from the sponsor side, and the reaction to winning and now being thrust into the spotlight even more heading into the 2022 season?
Yeah, it's my phone's definitely been ringing. I got within the next few months, I got a lot of big decisions to make. Of what's going to happen, who I want, and this and that, and that's the more stressful part for me than anything, because I don't want to make the wrong decision. You know what I mean? I want to do what's best for me and the right money and yada yada yada, and I just don't want to make the wrong decision. That's what I've been more stressed about than anything, because I know the opportunity's there and there's going to be more coming, and I just don't want to make the wrong mistake in the long run.
Tristan, do you have a mentor? Is somebody helping you? Is there somebody from the business aspect that you're getting advice from? What's the scoop on that?
So my mentor is Cody Meyer. Me and him are become really good friends within the last few years, and I look up to him more than anybody. And because he's just an awesome dude, and he's one of the best anglers in the world. But I also I have a manager, and his name is John Causey, and he's kind of the brains behind the operation. He takes care of all my emails and stuff like that. And hey, you need to be here at this show, you need to go there, and yada yada yada. So having him in my corner, really takes the pressure off me. And, because he's been in the boat business for years. This is all he's done is in the fishing industry. So he knows a lot of big time guys, and he's actually want to hook me up with Cody Meyer and a few years back. And, so having him in my back pocket too, that takes a lot of stress off also.
Wow.
He has a manager, Mark.
That's cool stuff.
Coming out of college.
And he's got a degree too. So you always, what'd you get your degree in? You always have that to fall back on.
Business management.
Okay.
He's like an Alabama running back, guaranteed first round draft pick, like just set up for this. Would you not agree? Comes out of the top program.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool deal, man. He's got his act together. I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
How many shows and stuff do you do a year? Because every time I'm at a show, a classic, anything, like I always run into you.
Yeah, I do quite a bit. Of course, classic East Tennessee Boat Show here. I go to a few shows around Florida for Blazer. I do quite a few, and mainly the big ones. I missed ICAST this year because I was up north. I don't know if you was there, Matt, but I was.
No, I didn't. I missed it too.
Well, I'm glad I didn't because apparently everybody got sick and had COVID. So that really helped.
You have your own clothing line too?
Yeah, I have my own clothing line.
Wow.
Yeah, so hats, shirts. I'm about to do some sweatshirts and a few more other things, beanies for the wintertime, whatnot.
All right. Also, okay, we've asked a couple of guys this. I believe we've even had did we have McKendry's coach or Bethel's coach?
I don't remember.
We had one coach on. But anyway, Bethel is a dynasty. There is no other way to put it. Describe what makes the Bethel anglers so dominant when it comes to winning, succeeding, and making an impact in the industry. Because I think you forget how many colleges there are out there and how many anglers are trying to do it, and to have a handful of schools that you know what I mean? It's not like you're getting, it's hard to dominate in fishing, regardless of who you are. And now you've got one school where you're seeing guy after guy after guy just reach the pinnacle of it. What is it about Bethel that allows anglers to succeed?
I think a lot of it, to be honest, when Kentucky Lake was good, we had one of the best lakes in the country in our backyard. So, all of us guys, we spent a lot of time out there, and, fishing Kentucky Lake can really set you up for fishing just about dang near any lake in the country when you figure out how to fish it. You know what I mean? So that was definitely huge. And, a lot of us work together, go to tournament, share information. Hey, this is how I'm catching, this is what we need to do. So we can kind of split up as a team and break down a section of the lake, if that makes sense. And, because it's hard for a guy to go out there, you and your partner, and have 2 days of practice and break down hundreds of thousands of acre lake in 2 days practice. It's just impossible. So, working together is definitely a big thing. And like I said, probably the biggest thing we had that was our biggest help was Kentucky Lake.
Interesting. Is it coming back now? Are they catching some fish on that? It was lean for a couple of years.
Oh, it was terrible for a few years, but no, it's coming back. You're starting to see some. You're not seeing the 30-pound bags like you did, but you're starting to see occasional 20-pound, 17, 18 pretty consistently, and it's starting to slowly come back. And a smallmouth. The smallmouth are there. They're there more than the largemouth are, in my opinion. So that's always fun.
All right, I'm curious. How tough was it? Obviously, you graduated, but how tough was it to balance what was taking place in the classroom and what was taking place on the water?
It was hard. But, we have, because we're gone so much in the spring, especially when the main fishing season happens. But we have teachers at Bethel that, are really lenient with us and work with us as long as we get our work done. And, so that was a huge help for us. And, when the last 2 years when COVID hit, we was basically all online. So we could leave for, a month and not have to worry, because all our stuff was online. So we could do all our work in a hotel and not have to worry about missing class. So that was also a big help. But, having the teachers that were as lenient as the ones we had, it made it super nice because we was never there, ever.
Yeah, that's true with the COVID situation. Yeah, so that's like the perfect situation in a sense because no matter where you are, you can take care of business in the classroom.
And the school really supports bass fishing too, right? Like, the administration and stuff knows all about it, and it's like kind of a feather in Bethel's cap to have.
Did you get recruited, or was that the university that you wanted to go to all the time?
No, Gary Mason recruits all of us.
Okay.
So how does that go?
So, yeah.
So what, you're in high school? Did you fish high school?
A few. So here's the thing. Everyone asks me that. So when I started, when I was in high school, it really wasn't as to the scale as it is nowadays, to 300, 400, 500 boats. We had like 30 boats. So, so I fished a few of them. But how I met Gary was I was fishing a tournament out of Parish Landing on Kentucky Lake. And that's why I started talking to Gary, and he was like, hey, would you consider going to college and come and fish for me? I was like, I wasn't even probably going to go to college. And now you're bringing this to the scale. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. So long story short, that's basically how it worked out. But no, he recruits everybody on his whole team.
All right. So how important, both on and off the water, was that experience that you had at Bethel pursuing what you just told us what you want to do?
Bethel is a great school, and what I like most about Bethel is it's like high school. Everybody, you can grow those relationships with teachers. And, I've already graduated, and I was in McKenzie this weekend, and I saw one of my professors. I stopped and talked to him, and he's like, I'm so glad you stopped and talked to me. So knowing those people, and he was a business guy. So if I ever need something like help, somebody that can't answer a question in a business term of fishing, I could call him and be like, hey, what is your opinion on this? So, that really sets you up just with the friendships you build in school and college, and then you can take it to the next level.
All right, very nice. Matt, I have one last question, and then you could close it out. I hate to put you on the spot on this, but obviously the game plan that you have and what you've described on the show today, dude, you've got it going on. I'm curious, though, if you had one opportunity to get a non-endemic sponsor and you had basically your choice at having this non-endemic company get involved with you, what company would that be?
That's a good question. Man, that's hard to answer, honestly.
I know.
There's a few of them, because you look at those guys that have these sponsors and they got it made. Probably, honestly, mine would be Huck.
Okay. They're obviously they're in the industry and stuff like that, but he is one of those, Matt, Tristan is one of those anglers that if we are finally going to get to the point where performance combined with education, combined with presence off the water, that non-endemics may take a look at Tristan and go, hey, you know what? This is the kind of guy we want to get involved with. And I was just curious if you thought out there,
You're talking like
maybe a Pepsi, a Coke,
I would say
Frito-Lay.
a Nike, but you're now an Adidas guy apparently. Walk in the studio, Jeffrey's wearing Adidas.
Too. Mountain Dew, they're into it.
Say Mountain Dew.
Yeah, they're into it. But I just think, obviously, as the younger anglers mature and spend more time, he's got the total package. And now think about what he's doing now. If he has a good 2022, he's in the Classic. If he qualifies for the Elite Series now.
He's on the cover of the Bethel Sports website. It's just like 20 pictures of you scrolling through. I'm on there right now just to see how they treat it. And it's like, the official website for Bethel University is you on the cover. You guys have some interesting sports. So in the co-eds, archery. You ever gone to an archery meet at Bethel?
So, hold on. So let me back up. So our assistant coach, he was Kenny Loudon, and he's also the head coach of archery. And, dude, they're cold. They're good. Like, they go to competitions and they run stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they don't go out there and compete for second.
You guys have esports?
I have no idea.
It's on there.
Esports.
Really? They also, so under men's sports, they have bowling.
Yeah,
That's Jeffrey's thing. And inline hockey.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then bass fishing.
Very cool.
Yeah, then there's bass fishing.
Very cool. All right, Matt, you can close it out. But Tristan, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. Very impressed with the game plan that you've put together. Very impressed with your performance so far. And best of luck to you at the Classic and the Opens next year. We'll definitely get you back on the show soon.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, Matt?
No, it was just, it's, I was talking to someone the other day. It's weird how this sport works and the kind of winding, twisting roads to where you're like, oh, I know that guy and I know that guy. And it's just cool to see guys that you know work hard and put their head down because, I mean, you were on the water every day, it seemed, and grinding out tournaments and putting your head down. And I'm a firm believer that productive practice and time on the water will eventually lead to results. There's no substitute for that. And I mean, maybe some of those decisions you made in the second half of that day on the final day were a result of the hundreds of hours that you put in thousands of miles away to kind of have the confidence of the time to make those decisions and have confidence in yourself. But hard worker, and couldn't be happier to see you go for the title on Lake Hartwell.
Yeah. Is that a buzzbait you're playing with?
Yeah.
What is it? What type of buzzbait?
I knew it was.
Is it a good? What buzzbait is it? Is it a super secret buzzbait? You got to show it now. Can you show it?
Quick glance.
You can't show it?
Just go like this. Quick glance. Quick glance.
It's actually just the blade. It's a homemade clacker, but it's in pieces right now. If I can't even pick it up.
See, that was a good call, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah. You only throw top waters, man.
That's cool. All right, Tristan, man. Have a great remainder of the year, and we'll talk to you soon. Have you back on, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Seriously.
All right, man. Take care, dude.
Y'all too.
See ya.
See you. There you have it. Tristan McCormick. Good dude, man. He's got his stuff going on.
He does. Eventually,
What's that?
there's got to be someone to make the Bethel Athletics Hall of Fame for the bass fishing team, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, what is the Olympic sport called? It reminded me when he did the archery. He brought up the archery, where you ski and you shoot at the same time.
Is it the pentathlon?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. That would be really hard to do. What is it called? I mean, don't they like cross-country ski for like 20 miles and every 5 miles they stop?
The biathlon.
Biathlon?
It's a discipline which combines both cross-country skiing and target rifle shooting events.
That would be hard to do.
It was a sport that was first developed as a training exercise for Norwegian soldiers, and the first competition was held in 1767.
Huh. You think you could do that? Have you ever skied?
I grew up cross-country skiing.
Really?
Yeah, big time in Illinois.
In Illinois?
Yeah, big time. We go to Rock Springs and we cross-country ski.
Huh.
And I've downhill skied a couple times.
Never knew
playing
that.
hockey for 22 years kind of helps with the edges, so you can trust your edges. So I'm going to pick that up pretty quick. But cross-country skiing is, I feel like you kind of have to hate yourself a little to enjoy cross-country skiing because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, come back, wrap things up here on a Tuesday. Good interview, man. That was a good get. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Good dude. All right, everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So, you're looking to buy fishing electronics, huh? Are you also looking for true experts to help guide you through it? Well, at the Bass Tank, you've come to the right place. We are live forward-facing sonar pioneers with thousands of hours spent learning through winning trophies, cashing checks, and just having fun. Whatever brand you need, we have it. We offer free shipping, and we have 2 financing options available. Our experts are here to help you. Call us today or visit thebasstank.com.
Preparation is key to success. and that preparation starts well before you ever hit the water. You're only as strong as your connection to the fish, and your line is that critical connection. Confidence in your line every minute of every day on the water is a necessity, and failure, it's not an option. Sunline makes the fluorocarbon, nylon, and braided lines to give you the strength to guarantee your confidence.
I've made my living on the water for over 20 years.
For 14 years. For over 23 years.
I've worn a bunch of different clothing brands over the years.
Some companies big.
And some companies small.
All of them said they were making clothing for us.
But none of them knew us.
None of them were us. Except for one.
Except for one.
Except one.
AFCO.
AFCO.
AFCO. AFCO.
Fishing isn't part of us. It is us.
Everyone, Brandon Polnick here. People always be asking me what I got tied on. And I'm like, X-Zone Lures. And they're like, Brandon, why you got X-Zone Lures tied on? And I'm like, let me show you why.
The bite.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's freaking digging. Get in here. Oh, God. Giant. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
I think you get the point.
The Little John family of crankbaits designed by top tour pro John Cruz have excelled at catching bass in any condition for years. They all feature a flat-sided design and paint jobs that are seldom seen in mass production bait. The Little John family also expands with new rattling versions of the Little John 50 and Little John 50 MD. Both of these baits are proven fish catchers that will now be available in rattling versions for stained and muddy water. They feature the same great action and diving depths as the original 50 and MD sizes.
The Ned Rig. What rod should I be using with the Ned Rig? My favorite is the Denali Lithium multi-spin rod. It's our 7'4" length, great Ned Rig rod. It's got a great sensitive tip on it. It's long enough where I can make long casts, which you're usually fishing clear water with a Ned Rig, and it's got enough backbone to get those fish in. So check it out, Denali Lithium Series 7'4" multi-spin.
All right, we are back, wrapping up Tuesday. Once again, I want to thank Tristan McCormick for coming on the show. Really good interview. If you missed that, make sure you go back and listen to it. And
when I first met him,
impressed, man.
I thought he was like my age.
How old is he?
He was like 21, 22.
Yeah. Huh. Good stuff.
All those Bethel guys.
Is there an SEC of collegiate fishing?
I think it's Bethel.
Do they even have conferences?
Yeah, we had a Big 12 for a while in fishing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we still do. We would have a Big 12 tournament.
I'm not familiar enough
Auburn,
with that.
Bethel, McKendree. There's probably about a half dozen of those schools.
The powerhouses.
They're just, those guys are always in the mix.
Yeah.
And it goes, and the impressive thing is it's not just like, oh, we've got a Jordan Lee or a Matt Lee on our team, right?
Yeah.
It's like classes, and they keep coming.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
All right. I had some time yesterday afternoon after practice. I stayed at school. It was parent-teacher conference.
So I
had no parents come by.
Oh, you just sit there and wait for parents to come by?
Pretty much, yeah.
None,
Yeah.
not one.
Not a single
There wasn't
one.
a single parent that came by.
No, because I take care of my students, and they are fully satisfied with the way.
I think they're just intimidated by you.
No, they're not. Anyway, I had some time
They'll
yesterday.
go see Miss Smith, but Mark Jeffries? We'll skip that one.
We don't need to go see Coach Jeffries. No, anyway. I was thinking about the appearance of Denny Brower on the David Letterman show.
Way back in the day.
This is a long, long time ago.
It was after he won the Classic, so it would have been 1998.
That's right. Now, I could not find the clip anywhere, and I actually had, it was either last year or a couple of years ago, I had a fan send me a link where Letterman's production company, do you remember what it was called?
Worldwide Pants.
Oh, yeah.
Is the name of his production company. That still exists, and you can actually pay, and I'm not sure how much, you can pay and get clips of old Letterman shows. Now, there's some bootleg stuff, obviously, out there on YouTube, and I couldn't find it. Could not find it. But I did submit an email to this production company to see how much it would cost to get that footage of Denny Brauer being on David Letterman. Haven't got a response yet. No.
They haven't turned it into a NFG yet?
We're not going to get into the what? NIL?
Yeah.
You think Denny Brauer could actually benefit from that if somehow, some way?
I think his target audience is into that.
So it got me thinking anyway. So I'm working on that. I want to try and get that clip, depending on how much it would cost to get that clip. Anyway.
What do you think? How much do you think that they would charge you?
I don't know, man.
Is that like a $50 thing or a $5,000 thing?
I have no idea.
I can't imagine there's a ton of people that are requesting that
I
over
really
20
don't know.
years later.
Don't know. So we'll see what the answer is on that. But it got me thinking once again, who would you think would be the best current angler right now to make, and I don't care which one it is, either ABC, CBS, NBC, doesn't matter. We'll just say Jimmy Fallon. Who would be the best angler to make a late night appearance on the Jimmy Fallon show, the Tonight Show?
Justin Lucas.
Think so.
100%.
Why is that?
He just would represent the sport well.
He's got a personality, too.
He's got a personality. He could cut up. I think Justin Lucas would be the guy.
All right. You wouldn't go, and I don't want to say old school, but the normal names, the Iconellis, the Kevin Van Dams,
Yeah, those would be fine, too, but I think
but
now I
of
would
the
go with
young
Justin Lucas.
What about Jacob Wheeler?
Yeah, he'd be fine, too. I think Lucas would just come across as a little smoother.
I think
like Wheeler, I think would be he would maybe get a little too analytical.
We're getting some names on the instant feedback and on the YouTube comments. Swindle? What about Swindle?
Swindle would be good.
He'd cut it up pretty good, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want somebody to be the epitome of what a professional angler is about, or would you want somebody?
I would want someone who would make an appearance not wearing a jersey.
Oh, no way. Absolutely could not wear a jersey.
Mm-mm.
That would be...
I told you who I think would be it. Justin Lucas.
Okay.
I think he covers all the bases.
Yeah. Yeah,
He looks like a NASCAR driver. He presents himself well. He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
He could grill a steak for the whole audience afterwards.
That would be pretty funny. Now, suit or no suit, forget about the sublimation. Does he wear a suit?
I think you do.
I agree.
We're getting a lot of not Lucases.
Yeah, why is that? I don't know. I think he'd be good.
Yep. What about you? You had to pick one.
Man, that's a tough one. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, it can't be Ayler. Ayler's already been on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
I think Wheeler would be good.
Yeah, Wheeler would be very good.
Yeah.
Matt Robertson.
James Watson. Worldwide on late night. Now, I don't know about that. Anyway, just pretty neat conversation piece to see who the fans and who you and I
Okay, give it your
select.
top five then. You don't have to pick one. You started it now. So your top five.
Top five. Wheeler, Van Dam. I think it would be awesome. A little bit of old school. Man. Lucas. I'll go Lucas too. Skeet.
Okay.
I'll go old school again. And then my fifth one would probably be Brandon Pollining.
Awesome.
That's what I'd go.
Okay.
Those are my top five.
And that's just off the top of my head. I mean, I'd have to look at the list and go, oh, man, I forgot about that dude. Jeez. Who's your top 5?
I'm going to go Tommy Biffle. No, I'm just kidding.
He'd
be great.
That would be entertaining. It really would be.
I got a lot of the same guys. I think as far as creating, like being very good in the interview, energetic, I would put Chris Zaldain up there. I think he would be awesome.
Okay.
If you want to just portray professionalism, Bernie Schultz.
Bernie would be really good.
Bernie would be a good one. I also agree you could go Edwin. Just pick between Edwin, Kevin, and Skeet.
Yeah.
Any one of those three.
I agree.
And Edwin has made a lot of national TV appearances. Remember, he towed his boat into New York City and I believe was on Good Morning America or
Today.
one of those
He was
things.
on the Today Show.
On the Today Show.
Yeah.
So he's done that.
Oh, no, the Fox Show. That's what he was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wheeler and Lucas. Brent Ayler would also be a... I mean, there's a bunch of different guys. Ike, 100%.
Yeah.
If you want to go old school, man, Shaw Grigsby.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you want.
Yeah. Wishful thinking, though, man. I don't think that'll ever happen. It's unfortunate, but who knows?
I wonder
someday.
who made the call for... And I think Ike's been on a late-night TV show, hasn't he?
I don't think
One
so.
of those? I thought he had it.
No.
I wonder who made the call with the Denny Brauer deal. Like, was that
Has
Bass?
he ever told the story?
Was
the
that
entire
Bass that
story?
reached out to them? Was it them that was like, here's an oddball? Like, how did that...
Yeah.
How was that connection made, and then why was it not consistently made again after that?
I don't know.
And what was the ratings? What was the reception to that? That would be interesting also to see if they were like, and that's the last bass fisherman we ever have on. Because I feel like, did they do a casting competition
He did
or
some
something?
flipping casting thing, as I
I
recall.
feel
That's
like
why I
one
want
of
to
them-
get the clip.
I feel like, not Jimmy Fallon, who's the dude who's married to Sarah Silverman?
What is he on ABC?
Yeah.
I never watch it, so.
Who the heck was that? Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
He also can't throw. Jimmy Houston would be a good one, too. He's not on.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, folks. We'll see if I get a response back to the request to get that clip of Danny Brower being on David Letterman. How many anglers, young anglers out there, do you think know who David Letterman is?
Yeah. Mike Iaconelli was on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
He was?
Here he is right now. Here's a 9-minute clip.
What, is that on YouTube?
Yeah, Mike Iaconelli showing Jimmy Kimmel his top fishing secrets.
What year was that?
Well, he was in the Flames jersey, making his big appearance on Jimmy Kimmel.
Hang on. I
don't know when it was. He posted it in 2018. Yeah, they got the hog trough right there, too. And Ike's up on the hog trough, and he's got Jimmy Kimmel up there.
Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
This might have been in the laser lure era.
Oops. Sorry. Let me see if I can get this pulled up.
Jimmy Kimmel.
How did we miss that?
I didn't. I told you I thought that he had.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel's actually looks decent with a spinning rod. And I feel after this year that I have an authority to say that.
Yeah, you are an authority on the spinning rod and reel. Definitely. Here, once the ad plays. Okay, wow, this is not very good quality, though.
It's on Ike's channel.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here if I can capture this real quick. Wow, we are really going into...
You got it?
Let's see here. Let's see if I can...
Our next guest is one of GQ Magazine's 10 most hated athletes in America. He has
Oh my
shaken the world
gosh.
of fishing to its core. Last weekend, he broke the $1 million career earnings mark. And here to show us how to catch the big bass, Mike Iaconelli. Hello, Mike. How you doing? How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Now, Mike, why are you, I know that you are the scourge of the fishing world, true?
Well, you know, I'm a little different. I'm a little different than the normal fisherman. I'm from the north. I'm a little bit younger. I get excited when I catch fish. I'll make a lot of noise, but it's an awesome sport. It's a fun sport. It's exciting.
You dance and you do crazy things when you catch fish.
Absolutely.
Other fishermen hate that.
Yeah, they get a little intimidated by it. I like to make noise, but I catch them.
You do. Aren't you supposed to be quiet when you're fishing?
That's an old wives' tale. Very
right?
untrue. I think the more noise you make, they know who's boss.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
And do you want them to know who's boss?
I think so. I think you want them to be a little intimidated.
All right. Now, what do we have here? We got John.
Do you travel around with this thing always, or
we can
just
play
for
this
TV
one
shows?
No,
without
this was
flagged.
I don't know.
But we've got some Berkeley worms. We've got some fish in here that are a
What
little
kind
bit.
of fish we got
They're
in there?
kind of smart. These are all largemouth bass.
Right.
And I'm going to
Enough
show
of
you
that.
about 5.
Dude, I had no idea. I really didn't. I totally forgot about that. Well, that's cool. Well, we will see. We will see if I can produce the Denny Brower. Do you know, or are you aware if Denny has really told the
I
entire
think he did.
story?
I think he did on. Did like a Major League Fishing piece on it a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yes, and then we're going to try to catch a few of these fish.
I'm queuing that up. Sorry about that. All right, so that's one of the things that I'm working on. All right, who do we have tomorrow? Josh Douglas.
Yep.
And then Frank on Thursday.
Yep.
Anything else, man?
Nope.
That's good stuff.
Thanks, Tristan, for hopping on.
Yeah, really, really good interview with him. All right. Sorry. I had to get the music keyed up.
It's all good. You got it dialed in now.
We're getting there, man. I think things are going okay. You got to like the Flame jersey. The Flame jersey was
Remember when he was
cool.
trying to get the Nike sponsorship and he fished with the
That was at the
Flame
Classic.
jersey unbuttoned? It was before Dye Sublimation, and he had the Nike Air shirt on underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when was that the flag situation took place that year? I think
Might
it
have
was. Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, good stuff. I want to thank everybody on the instant feedback and the comments. Great interaction today. And Matt and I, we will return tomorrow. So outstanding job, Matt. Folks, that's it. We're out of here.